was a very special thanks to both East Coast and West Coast mom and dad. And I want to say a few things to illustrate our thanks. The first thing is I wanted to thank Roberta especially, but all of you, for all of the work that you put into making this wedding wonderful. One story is that right after we got engaged, we heard that you had already compiled a couple of wedding folders with places and phone numbers and all sorts of. We knew we were in good hands from the start. And
we knew we had to get engaged because there was already a wedding folder.
And and tied with that, you worked so hard and you were so well organized and did such a great job of planning that you were even able to be basically done with everything a week in advance so that you could relax with Sarah and spend an entire week princessifying her so that this could be, you know, the happiest day of our lives. And we really, really appreciate that. The next thing that I want to say.
I just want to add, I just wanted to share with you a comment that we heard when we first told Mark's mom that we got engaged. She said, "Yippee, yahoo!"
And while on that subject, we learned sometime during the summer that my mom and Sarah's mom enjoyed a daily wedding fix where Sarah's mother would call my mom and give her an update on what they had done during the day and how things were going, and it says something about how much you enjoyed sharing your anticipation of this day together, and it says volumes for how close our families have become and how loved we feel right now. And so I thought that was another thing to illustrate. And to conclude, one thing that a friend of mine, Aaron Frankel, once said to me when I was in Israel, he, talking about Sarah, said that he thought that I was the luckiest guy in the world. And I don't disagree with that in any respect. But I want to add to that I think Sarah and I there is no couple on earth lucky as us to be blessed with parents who are so devoted and loving as those that we have.
And now let's rock and roll!
Yeah. Don't do it on that side. You're gonna cast your shadow. Do it on this side.
Can we have a drum roll, please?
Drum roll. Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Even though you're packing up and you're ready to go. You're a demanding couple, but the ordinary. Up for the court.
Nice, nice.
You cannot give that.
Then maybe.
You cannot just in the back.
Yeah.
We only have the room till midnight.
Mark, go down this way. Yeah. Help her separate that out. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that looks good. What flavor is that? That looks good.
Teriyaki.
Come on, get it all over her face.
No.
So, in that vein, we prepared some little skits, poems, songs, etc. for Sarah and Mark. And at Sarah's Tisch, my advice to her was that she see many Broadway shows with Mark, because I know that this makes him very happy. So, I present to you Broadway Cinema. The prelude to this Broadway show will be performed by Rob Cole. Let's have a round of applause, please.
Now, we just heard the band do a very lovely rendition of What a Wonderful World, which was Louis Armstrong's song. And I would like to do the song again, but a little bit more like Louis. I've seen trees of green, red roses too. I've seen them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I've seen skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really mean, I love you. And so, on their wedding day, they look so fine, so happy and gay. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Is Art here yet? Where are you? Okay. So everyone's getting a piece of cake, and I'm sure you all saw how unique the cake was because it had different skylines of the many cities that Sarah and Mark have lived in. So their friend Arik has a special talent, and he is going to present those cities, states, etc. in a fabulous manner. So as you're eating your cake, like, you know, he's drawing while you're eating. Make the connection. Yay! And cheer him on. Cheer him on. This is amazing.
about Romania?
America.
Are we in Yugoslavia?
The yellow rose of Texas. New York, New York. I don't know any songs for Washington, D.C. or Seattle. Sorry. Or San Francisco. President Baby? He's not done. Hold please as he adds the final touches.
All right. Well, I guess we should draw a big heart.
I love New York.
Where? Next?
Yeah.
That's a heart, kind of.
And Israel's a little bit off the map.
Hopefully that's politically correct.
Let's hear it, Barney. Okay. Scene 1. The roommate rap.
I think as many of you know, Robin, Jill, and I lived with Sarah during our senior year at Columbia. So we wanted to make sure, recall the memories of senior year, and to make sure that we misameach b'chatan v'kala.
Don't you mean we have to misameach b'chasa and kala? No, it's misameach b'choisen and kala.
This is a poem from H602, home of Puro, Benor, Jacobs, and True.
And he's one of the academic journal about Call It Time Class where relates an action joke from the College of the Yiddish Club, Student Help for the Aged, and the Yiddish Cabaret.
The smell of okra is always in the air, and GRE words hang everywhere.
When we hear Ish,
Erva!
we know it's Mark, coming to help Sarah master Quark.
Sarah is playing the Seltzer Freilach and looking for the root of misameach.
Is that paraphrastic?
The fridge is being raided by Yishai and Zvi, so there's no food left for you and me.
We brush our teeth together every night, and never, never do we fight. The biggest mystery of the fall is how Sarah manages to do it all.
While the rest of us stay up so late, Sarah is in bed at least by 8.
She's spying in the base medrash.
Baking drash.
Hey, do you smell someone cooking paprikash?
Sarah sometimes thinks she's Moses, and she's very good with her toeses.
She and Mark see every Broadway show and hang the playbills high and low.
Sarah has taught us many things. Drinking water is not one of them.
You're gonna pour water all over the floor. Mark does a cartwheel at graduation. Can we offer the two of you a carnation?
That was the year they learned to dance, and we all got to watch their budding romance.
So we wish you mazel tov, Sarah and Mark, and hope that your lives are a walk through the park.
All right, scene 2. You know there's a musical, All That Jazz. Now we have All That Otzma.
My name's Aaron.
Oh, okay.
You should have told us. We'd have been glad to stay.
Mark choreographed a YMCA dance for a talent show we did at Kibbutz. He's a very talented person. They're a very talented couple. But I guess you guys will be spared having to endure our YMCA dance. But anyways, I was saying, my name's Aaron.
And I'm Jeff.
And we had the pleasure of spending a year in Israel with Mark, and we're actually his roommate. And I think if you, roommates, yeah. Roommates. And if you spend time living with someone and traveling with them, I think you can really learn a lot about the person. And I'm reminded of, towards the end of the year, we went on a one-week camping trip in the Golan. And for space reasons, they told us to bring one bag only, and to only put in it what we really needed. So I took my sleeping bag and some clothes. I thought about it for a while. I put in some toothpaste and a toothbrush. And we all showed up at the bus. And sure enough, Mark was lugging a big sack, like everyone else. And then we got there and we did a day of hiking, and it was time to set up camp. So I took my sleeping bag and unrolled it, and I noticed that Mark was taking out a water bottle, and that was it. And I said, Mark, where's your sleeping bag? And Mark had packed so many books and magazines to bring with him that he actually forgot to bring a sleeping bag, and he forgot to bring a change of clothes. So for a week, every night Mark would sleep in his Mercer Island wrestling shirt. Those who know Mark know the shirt. And, he was very resourceful. He figured out if you like half empty the water bottle, that's kind of like a soft pillow, and all the way filled with water is like better back support. All right, I'm gonna pass it on.
Anyway, aside from a very entertaining story, Sarah, we know that you've traveled extensively with Mark, but we wanted to give you the benefit of our experience traveling with Mark, being that you're about to take off on your honeymoon. So we spent quite a bit of time and came up with a thoroughly researched list of suggestions. One is watch him pack his clothes.
I think I don't know this.
Because, look, we're dying up here as is. Just any laughs would be appreciated, but it's later. Watch him pack his clothes, because if you don't, the bag will be full of books. It won't be full of clothes or a sleeping bag. You will either be wearing your clothes or the same sombrero and Mercer Island wrestling sweatshirt for the entire length of your honeymoon. They won't land back in customs afterwards. This is one that I actually have a great deal of personal experience with, having lived and traveled with him. Pack a travel alarm clock without a snooze button. Make sure it's extra loud. Mark has missed a bus or two in his time due to oversleeping. Trust us, we know. And finally, and most important, and of course the most obvious, when you're traveling with Mark, you have to make sure to take with you your love of adventure and learning, because that's what traveling with Mark is all about.
Ames Moss, and Sarah recruited both of us to get involved in Yiddish activities at Columbia, and it has shaped our lives in such an extraordinary way. And so our scene is called "This Ain't No Mockshtetl Wedding." 5 years ago, we met Sarah, our dear, and around the three of us, a lot of Yiddish you'd hear. There was a mock wedding and then a cabaret. She was older than us, so she showed us the way. Oh, Sarah, Sarah, we love you so much. Our hearts, you have so greatly touched. Your talent's outrageous and your passion's contagious, and we love you although your papers are 100 pages. But the story's just begun. Meet the guy extraordinaire. Sarah and Mark, an exemplary pair. Ballroom dancing around campus and cooking veggie meals galore. One studying bio and the other folklore. Oh, in New York, Jerusalem, Seattle, and D.C., their love grew and grew, that's plain to see. And now in Palo Alto, they're no longer tourists, although we're both sure that Sarah misses sandwiches from yours. What an honor it is to be with you today. This song must end, even though there's much more to say. But we need to recount a lesson. It's something we cannot miss. That an unexpected kiss can lead to matrimonial bliss. And together, Tumbala, 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 like Tumbala, 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 like Tumbala, like Tumbala, like Tumbala, like a very last little time. Okay, moving right along.
Hello. I'm not a poet, just a friend, and no more. And poetry is a mastery of words, and my vocabulary stinks compared to Benor. But on this occasion, some words I will say for Sarah and Mark on this very special day. I started this masterpiece on a United Airlines flight, and I thought to myself, hey, this traveling is all right. Now let me regress to a trip we all took, a year-long adventure in the land of the book. On Oatsmunda wrote as a tourist, whatever, these are things we experience that will last forever. Now that's the point I'm trying to make. This marriage is a voyage you're going to take. Don't get me wrong, it won't be all fun, like hiking the Golan in the scorching sun. But think as you travel, all the things you'll discover, the culture, history, and yes, language of love. So pack your bags, my friends. Do not delay. Bring a sunscreen and a big giant hat. Your voyage starts today. In the spirit of words and trying to rhyme, blah blah, I wish you the best on your journey. B'chatzlacha.
And without further ado, our finale, no other than, or are, I guess, the Bunin Boys. Let's hear it.
Par for the course, Barry's a little late.
It's getting the wedding night.
We have a feeling this won't be a grand finale, but it'll be a finale. We're going to tell the story of how Mark and Sarah fell in love through a game called, what do we call it?
Doing laundry in college.
That wasn't the start of the game.
What we can say about this is it definitely will be the last skit.
So Mark and Sarah met in a fire drill at Columbia where Mark was
Only wearing his underwear.
While running down the ladder.
tough to follow that. Quickly they were in the laundry room talking about how they would bring up their children, where they decided if it was a boy his name would be
Shlomo Grundy. And Mark also didn't have 3/4, so he decided that's how many children he would have when he borrowed 3/4 from Sarah.
That lead in, Barry.
Go ahead.
All right, so they had a quarter and they called Dad. And long distance, Dad told them.
So many options. And if you ever get lost, make sure to...
What I was expecting.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
So, yeah, take a quarter, call me if you need me, and do anything you want, just don't burn down the house, or dormitory